be coming around the border when they come. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. What a day. Down goes Frazier. There were some teams in front of the Buffs. We've been talking about this all season long. And looking at the timeline here, Buffs the control is out of their hands, given the teams that are in front of them. Iowa State, Kansas State, BYU. Schedules for those guys doesn't look very daunting. I go, not looking good for the Buffs on having an opportunity to play in the Big 12 championship. Boy, was I wrong. How things can change any given Saturday. That's why you play the games. That's why you don't just go look at the schedule and go, that's a win, that's a win. No. You got to show up. Day in and day out, you got to play. And that's what happened this past Saturday. Boys played, some things went down. This show, of course, brought to you by BetUS. We're going to talk about all of that and also how it can look for the Buffs and getting into the Big 12 championship and how much closer it really is. Roll it.
I flushed my juice down in the club.
Yes, sir. First one, bam! At the buzzer by one. His three-pointer, bang! Texas Tech takes on Iowa State. Number 11 team, undefeated team in the country. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. We're going to look how this flusters up the standings here in a minute because this is going to get juicy. The Big 12, I said it at the beginning of the year, was wide open. I had some teams that I felt were going to be up there where aren't even close. So I was even wrong. I'm okay with being wrong, right? I thought Utah was going to be able to handle their business. They have been dog water. Oklahoma State, I bought the drama. I should have known better. BYU, ain't nobody had BYU circle. I'm going to tell you real quick. Ain't nobody had BYU circle, but it doesn't matter. Kansas State, Iowa State, BYU, those were the teams ahead of Colorado going into this week, this given Saturday. And the problem with that was happening is that Colorado doesn't play Iowa State. Colorado already played Kansas State, and Colorado doesn't play BYU. So they don't have an opportunity to even take those teams down to level the playing field. And Kansas State, again, they lost to them, so they needed Kansas State to lose to somebody. And Kansas State didn't really have much left on their plate that I felt that they should lose. Just being matter of fact with you. Iowa State, same thing. I thought they were going to be able to handle their business with Texas. Iowa State and Kansas State do play, though. And I go, look, that's great, but something else needed to happen. It happened. It happened. Here it is. Texas Tech, who looks promising at times and then flat at other times, does their business. Comes in and handles their thing. Now look, this Texas Tech game this weekend for the Buffs is going to be rambunctious. Because Texas Tech, in all reality, it's got a spin chance. They're going to be looking at the game. We got an opportunity. It's going to come down. It's going to be good. I'm loving it. Big 12's fired me up. Got to be honest with you. I'm jazzed up. I'm loving what I'm seeing here. So Iowa State goes down. Tuesday, mind you, they're going to have the new rankings / seedings for the playoff. This isn't the AP poll. This is going to be what we follow for the remainder of the year. Going to be interesting now. You got a 2-loss Colorado team, a 1-loss Iowa State team. Iowa State, as if the season were finished today, would be in the playoffs. Kansas State drops one. They've got 2 losses to a Houston team, right? Do they fall behind Colorado? Are they going to be just a 1 spot in front of Colorado? I don't know. I'm asking you. You tell me. It's going to be interesting. Sometimes where you lose those games matter. Because, again, that Nebraska game was a long, long time ago. People forget. Even though the record shows, people forget. The other big one that happened, too, Houston. Houston taking down Kansas State. Number 17, Kansas State. Do they drop back 6-7 spots behind Colorado? Does Colorado jump to top 20 on Tuesday? Although they didn't play, but a lot of things happened in front of them. A&M goes down. Illinois, I believe, was in front of them. They go down. Cinematic on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. That's what college football is all about. That's why you play the games. That's why I say any given Saturday all damn day. Massive. Massive. Now, I do want to show you this because I did tell you the show is brought to you by BetUS. And we posted this, okay? I believe I posted it. We talked about it. Plus 600. And I talked about this. I go, look, this is before Saturday, before games are played. This could change. Because this right now is plus 600 without them having they didn't have a path to it, right? Now there's a path. It's there now. There was always a path, but it was a little foggy. We're gonna look at that path. This line may change. It should change. It should get a little more aggressive. Should get closer to that 300 mark. Because again, the path is cleared up a little bit. Colorado just moved up a spot in the rankings. in the Big 12 standings. You heard that right. Yes, they did. They did. Because Kansas State 2 losses, Big 12 losses. Huge. 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 Be sure to check out betus.com. Use code YouTube150. Get back 150% on your first deposit. $125 on your second two, up to $2,000. So, hey, get in on that. Get on. I like that a lot now. If it's still plus 600 right now, son, give it away. Giving it away money. Look, if you knew right now that they were going to be in the Big 12 championship, plus 600 would be nuts, right? So you got to take a little bit of a chance here because you don't know if they're in it yet. But I like their chances drastically now, and we're gonna look at this right here, okay? Because how this thing's gonna shape up. So here are the standings. BYU's undefeated, okay? BYU doesn't play anybody in front of them, right? So they don't play Iowa State. They've got Kansas, Utah. That Utah game is gonna be huge. That Utah game, it's a rivalry game, obviously in-state rival. It's at Utah. That's gonna be the game to watch this coming Saturday. Kansas, after that, I think we have no problem. Arizona State, no problem. Then Houston, maybe just found themselves a little bit. Maybe they had a little swagger going to that last game. But right now, the Utah game is what's going to really set the tone here and see how that shapes up for the Buffs. Iowa State, 4-1. Colorado, obviously 4-1 in the conference. So you see the tie there. So what happens with the tie? What if it just ends like that? Because Iowa State would have to beat Kansas State. Colorado will beat Texas Tech. It's a little confusing because I don't know what's going to happen because Colorado beating Texas Tech would be beneficial for Colorado to get over Iowa State because their common opponent, which would be Texas Tech, Colorado has a W. But if Iowa State beat Kansas State, then you have a wash, right? So then it would go to, from my understanding, which of those two teams is highest rated. So Kansas State and Texas Tech. So in a weird way, Colorado, I think, will be cheering for Texas Tech. That's if Iowa State beats Kansas State. So what needs to happen is now Kansas State has to beat Iowa State and Colorado wins out, Colorado's in. That is a matter of fact. If Utah beats BYU, then I think that would also work out because Colorado plays Utah. And if Colorado has to win out. This is the thing. If Colorado beats Utah, then they would get in over BYU because their common opponent would be the Utah and every other common opponent they have played. No, that's the wrong team. So that is going to be a huge one. So Utah is going to be Colorado's biggest fan moving forward because right now I think if all three teams ahead of or two teams ahead of Colorado were to win out, Colorado does not get in given the circumstances of the rule. That's how I'm reading it. Unless Kansas State falls off and loses every game, maybe that's how weird this thing is because it has to change. We in a 9-game conference, but that's besides the point. So it's much closer than what it was a week ago, though. This is exactly what you needed to have happen with 4 weeks of football left. This is a phenomenal spot for the Buffs to be in. Phenomenal spot. This Saturday is going to be mayhem. It's going to be mayhem. You've got Utah and BYU, which is going to be nuts. Obviously, Texas Tech and Colorado, which is going to be nuts. Let me see who Iowa State plays this week. Because, look, now that they've been rattled a little bit, Iowa State plays Kansas at Kansas. Could we see a massive upset there again? I don't know. But the Big 12's coming down to the wire. And I'm loving every minute of it. I don't know if the Buffs crack the top 12 without making the Big 12 championship. There's just so many fun teams right now. I could be wrong. A lot of football left. There's just so many teams in front of them. I don't know if they're going to give them enough respect. But again, we'll know a lot more on Tuesday too. Again, how the committee views Colorado and views their wins could change everything. That we don't know. So what if come Tuesday, Colorado's sitting at 15, right? And they win out. They could creep 3 spots because a lot could happen in front of them between now and then, right? If they're at 25th, I don't see them jumping 12 spots in 4 weeks, even if they win out, just because their wins aren't going to have high-quality wins because the teams are playing haven't done well this season. That's just what it is. Some things would have to happen in front of them. I'm trying to kind of sell the point, like, how do you get the ball back into your court, Colorado? How do you get it to where you control your destiny? Right now you still do, but things have to happen in front of you. That's never a fun place to be, right? You want to be where you can control it. So We'll see. It's gonna be great. Hell of a Saturday. I couldn't believe it. I go, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. I really could. But be sure to smash the like button, subscribe. It's Texas Tech week, so we're gonna have videos flowing all week. Had a bye week last week. Nice little rester, bouncing back. Let's get into it. Primetime game next week. We'll be talking all about it. So turn the bell on, do what you got to do, get nasty with it. Show's brought to you by BetUS. We'll see you on the next one. Peace and love, baby.